We've also looked at it not just in the criminal context, but in the civil context, when you talk about people who are facing foreclosure. And because they can't hire an attorney, and because they on themselves as a layperson can't really navigate all of the legal intricacies of our court system, end up losing something as important and precious as their home. You think about it in the context of discrimination cases, of women like Ms. Ledbetter, who knew or found out for years that she was being paid a lot less than her male counterparts for doing the same job, and in some instances doing it better than her male counterparts. And when she finally is able to have her day in court and prove this fact, she nevertheless didn't receive any financial compensation for the damages that she had to suffer from. That is an access to justice issue, because if you avail yourself of the court system and yet you can't really achieve the remedy that you're entitled to, then what is the purpose of that system in the first place? Another consequence of judicial vacancies and the lack of resources in the criminal justice or in the civil justice system is a lack of confidence that our communities today have when it comes to judges, when it comes to court administration, and even when it comes to individuals like me who are lawyers, trying to do the best that we can, but because of all of the restraints, are not always able to work to our optimum. And so we believe that we have to continue to not only fill judicial vacancies, but make sure that we're filling those vacancies with people who really care about the law, who are in it for the right reasons, who represent all of the cross sections of our society. This is not just about getting more women elected to or appointed to the bench, or minorities appointed or elected to the bench. Those are important goals that we should continue to strive for. But it's also about making sure that judges understand that maybe sometimes a cop did plant that evidence, or maybe that person really did have their hand on the steering wheel when they were suspected of reaching for a weapon. That maybe when a person like Freddie Gray in Baltimore is alive when he gets into a police van, but when he arrives at the station is dead, and there's not a lot of explanation for that, maybe it means that we need to put a little bit more resources into our system so that people feel confident about it. We have a whole series, in fact, it's just not today and yesterday, of police shootings. And whether they were justified or not, you have a situation where our society does not trust the judicial system, does not trust law enforcement. And a lot of that is because they don't see their grievances being adequately addressed in these systems. And so what do you turn to sometimes when you're frustrated and you lack other means of exercising your power? Violence, riots. That is why access to justice, our court system, our penal system, that is what is supposed to provide an alternative to people taking matters into their own hands and creating an uncivil society when we're supposed to be moving towards a civil society. So my hope is that the information you all received today, and hopefully some of the motivation to remain active on this issue, will translate into people having more confidence in our system, judges who really care again about the law and can at least have some understanding of what the litigants appearing before them might be experiencing, and that we can really also come up with some solutions that are not so dependent on judges, on the courts, on lawyers. I mean, the idea of walking across the country for climate change, that might be more powerful than a court case that will take years to be litigated, and then, you know, who knows if the companies and powers that be will ever have their due day in court. But that kind of civic, grassroots activism is what we need to further develop and not place all of our eggs in the court basket. We need to come up with some innovative solutions so that we can again achieve what I hope is a common understanding that all people are entitled to the basic rights announced in our Bill of Rights in our Constitution, and that we really all should be treated equally. Thank you.